Howdy folks, and welcome back to another video. As a content creator myself, the number one question I've gotten throughout my entire career is, what tips do you have for me? I want to start out as being an Animal Jam content creator and I don't really know what to do. Or sometimes it'll be questions like, how do you edit your videos? How do you record your videos? And what do you suggest? And I kind of answer these people the best of my abilities, but a lot of people seem really interested in the life, quote unquote, of an Animal Jam content creator, as uninteresting as that may seem. So I thought I'd make a whole video. I'm not only going to be going over tips and how to be an Animal Jam content creator, because I don't think that would make a good video on its own, but I'm also going to be going over the problems of being an Animal Jam content creator and overall the pros and cons of being one. When I first started out, I really didn't know what I was expecting. It was just kind of a spur-of-the-moment decision. I was inspired by some creators like Keck and Lemon Puppy at the time, and I just kind of dove into it nose first without any real plans. My editing style is somewhat loosely based off of commentary creators outside of the Animal Jam community, a bit closer to stuff like drama videos and the art community kind of drama stuff. And I went in with that, with the topics that I feel like Lemon Puppy would cover or some stuff similar to that. But apart from that, I didn't really have any vision for my channel. It was just kind of I want to try making content kind of deal. And now that I have been one for a bunch of months now, I have definitely encountered a lot of things that I would have never expected. Starting with the cons, I suppose, there's always the hate comments. You kind of got to expect to get hate comments no matter what you do. You could make any sort of content. You could do art, video games, honestly, you could do anything and you're gonna get hate for it. And in my personal experience, it hasn't bothered me that much. Most of the hate comments that I get are kind of stupid, or they're really silly and they have on more than one occasion made me laugh. But what I would suggest doing if you are receiving a exponential amount of hate, like a lot of hate on your videos, delete the comments and move on. I know that particularly one of my more controversial videos got an absolute ton of hate comments, and it got to the point where undoubtedly my comments were actually being botted. I was getting these hate comments that were literally copy and pasted word for word, about 3 in a minute, over and over and over again, to the point that most of my comments were this singular comment just copy and pasted. And if that ever happens to you, don't get overwhelmed, don't get freaked out, just disable your comments. I know some people think that disabling your comments or just deleting a comment and not engaging with it is the coward's thing to do, but whatever honestly makes you feel the best emotionally, that's what you should go for. Never waste your time or your breath or your energy on someone who's gonna hate you, because trust me, you're not gonna change their mind. You're not going to make them hate you any less by trying to convince them otherwise or trying to argue with them. All that you're gonna do is upset yourself, get yourself overwhelmed, and give them the satisfaction of making you upset. A lot of times though, hate can go pretty far beyond YouTube comment section. So when I did live streams, they would get rated pretty often. And while at first they'd get rated in the live chat, and what I would suggest for you to do for that is to get live chat moderators. In my case, my live moderators are my best friends who I can trust, and have them delete whatever people are saying. It can go beyond that. Unfortunately, I feel like in Animal Jam, at least Animal Jam Play Wild, what happens when you block a player isn't enough. You could block someone and they're still gonna be in your den. And a lot of the times what would happen when I'm live streaming is people will go into my den where all of my fans are hanging out and chatting and just start saying mean things. Usually it's that I'm stinky or that I'm bad. A lot of the times it's them making fun of my pronouns or making fun of me for being transgender, which, let's all be honest, if you're gonna hate on me, at least be original, because I swear every single stream is the same thing. KijiCon is a woman. She, her, KijiCon is a woman. Like, grow up. I get that all of the time. You're not funny, you're not special, you're not original. And what I would suggest for you for doing that is block the person. And even though on Animal Jam Play Wild, blocking someone doesn't really mean much, it just means that you can't see their messages and they can't trade you. But that'll help get any of the hate that they're saying out of your video. So if they're saying mean things, it won't show up on your screen, so it won't show up in the footage. And ask the people that are viewing that might be getting upset by it to block them as well, so that they don't have to deal with it either. Of course, some people take it even further, and I've been harassed on other platforms. I'm a moderator of the Animal Jam subreddit, and I've had people replying to my comments or my posts with links to some pretty not so nice things, some pretty gross images that no one really wants to see. And in my case, I just spoke to the other moderators, and they made it so that people can't post images in the comment section anymore. But if this is happening to you, I'd just say ignore it, or if you really want to and you're really nervous or upset, go ahead and take the post down or take your comment down. Just don't let them get you the time of day. okay? Same thing happens to me on Instagram a lot. People will send me DMs on Instagram that say some not so nice things, or with images that I don't really want to see. And if that happens to me, I just block them and move on. I don't even reply to it. I don't even let them know that I've seen it, because honestly, it's not worth my time. I would suggest that if this happens to you, you do the same. And that's because a lot of the times when people are doing this, even if they do just genuinely hate you, most of the time it's for attention. What they want for you is for you to react in some way, even if that's like you being sad and crying, or you getting angry and fighting back. No matter what you do, they're going to use it against you. They're going to use it to bully you further, or to make some sort of point like, oh my god, you guys, KijiCon just yelled at me. KijiCon is a bad person. It's not worth your time. And honestly, the best thing you can do, and the best way to get people to leave you alone, is just to ignore it and move on, because you're better than that. You are so much better than that, and they are not worth your time. Another unfortunate and fortunate thing that kind of comes from being an Animal Jam content creator is the attention. For me, I noticed that people started to recognize me in-game when I was around the 800 subscriber mark, and at first it was a kind of thing where I was really excited about it, and I was like, oh my god, people actually like me, and it made me happy, and honestly, it still does make me really happy when people recognize me in-game, but it got to a point now where I'm at 3.5 thousand subscribers, and it can get a little overwhelming. Almost every time I log on to Animal Jam and I go about literally anywhere, people will be recognizing me. Almost every land or every room that I go into, at least one person will recognize me. If I go to the Sapphire shop, someone will say OMG KijiCon. If I go to the Arctic Wolf Ice Cave, there'll be 4 or 5 people trying to surround me, and that does get overwhelming, and you can tell people all you want that you need some space or that you're just trying to trade right now, but people can't really help it, especially considering the fact that Animal Jam is a game made for children, and children get really excited, and that's okay, and I'm really happy that they're happy to see me. What I would suggest doing for this is, if you get overwhelmed by all the attention, is honestly, this might sound kind of mean, but you can ignore people. If people are trying to trade you and talk to you all the time, and you're not trading right now, just turn your trades off and go about your day. If you're trading and people are trying to trade you, just deny any trade that doesn't have an item. If people are going into your den to harass you and you're trying to do a den decorating, just lock your den. Unfortunately, you are probably going to upset some people, but one good lesson that you'll need to learn as a content creator, especially if you plan to be a big one or continue for a long period of time, is that you can't make everyone happy. No matter what you post, no matter what you say, no matter what you do, you're going to make someone sad, you're going to make someone upset, and you just got to do the best that you can to make people happy. When I make my content, my goal in making my content is to help people understand a situation a little bit more, or to help make someone smile. And if my videos make at least one person happy in a day, I'll say that I've succeeded. And I know that sometimes the things I make won't make everyone happy, but I'm content with that, and I know that that's just gonna happen, and it'll be okay. But now that I got all of the bad stuff and the boring stuff out of the way, let's talk about why I enjoy being an Animal Jam creator, and why I think being an Animal Jam creator is good. I guess this might be kind of corny, but my number one is just that I love making content. I love being able to do something within the Animal Jam community, and I am really happy to know that people like what I'm doing. It makes me feel very inspired. It makes me feel pretty good to see that people like me for something. And I know that sometimes posting on a schedule or feeling like I need to put content out a lot can be really tiring, but in my personal experience, it's always worth it. And before making content, and honestly, even now, I have some problems with self-esteem. I have issues where I feel like I'm not good enough, and making content and knowing that people like me or like something that I do genuinely really helps my self-esteem. And sometimes when I'm not feeling too good, logging on to Animal Jam and seeing people happy to see me can help me feel really good when I'm not feeling very good. Being a creator has also introduced me to a ton of different people and ideas. Being a creator, I've met other creators who ended up being really good friends, or I've met fans who ended up being really good friends. And the kind of content that I make, commentary, is always open for discussion, and so it's taught me so much that I might not have thought about otherwise. It's taught me about the community, it's taught me about the players. Dude, it's even taught me about Animal Jam, like the game itself and how it's run and how the moderation team works, and I am so thankful that in doing this, I've been given these opportunities. You have no idea how much my perspective has shifted from before I started making content and how I make content now. I was definitely a lot more critical of WildWorks and their decisions and their inner workings. And while I still do make a lot of content that is honestly very critical of AJHQ and WildWorks, now that I've had an ability to speak with them personally and have gone through the experience I went through when I was hacked and just been more engaged with the game, I've learned a lot, and I've learned to respect the difficult challenges that come with running a big game like Animal Jam. It's just helped me understand a lot and meet a lot of people, and I'm really thankful for that. Being a content creator can be really difficult a lot of the times because you can't make everyone happy and people might be out there to try to hurt you or make you upset. But I'll say that overall being one has been an incredibly positive experience. I won't lie in saying that I don't make money off of it or that the money that I make off it doesn't mean anything, because that has also been something that has been really life-changing for me. I haven't been able to cash out my YouTube money yet, but over the summer I've made about $500 for my videos. And while in the grand scheme of things that might not sound like a lot, but that's going to pay for my therapy. That's going to pay to help me make myself a better person. And that's going to be able to help pay for my college books and for my future. And thinking that I am somehow making money, even if it's not a huge amount, through playing a game that I've loved since I was a little kid is an opportunity that I could have never imagined a mere 6 months ago before I started making content. And I would say that if you are willing to put in the effort and the dedication that it takes to be a content creator, honestly, you should, and that's why now I'm going to give you some advice on how I think you could do so. If you want to be a content creator, there's a few things you have to think about first. For starters, what kind of content is it that you want to make? Because, for example, the kind of videos that I make, I would call myself an Animal Jam commentary creator, but there's tons of different creators out there. I know people who make edits and do fun little Animal Jam short edits that they post on TikTok or YouTube Shorts. There's creators out there who don't talk about typical commentary stuff and just talk about the Animal Jam game itself. People who make update videos and theories and make fan content. There are animators out there who make Animal Jam animations, animation memes, animatics, who make their own little characters and their own universes within the Animal Jam world. There are creators out there who make all sorts of Animal Jam things. There's people who just do live streams and hang out and chat with people and do giveaways. There's all sorts of different things you can do. And so honestly, what I would suggest that you do for Animal Jam content creation very much depends on what kind of content that you want to create. I would say that overall, if you want to succeed, the best first step to do would be to know what you want to do, which ironically enough was not what I really knew when I started making content. But it is a lot easier to begin if you have a target or a goal in mind. And also, if you're going to make Animal Jam content, it's kind of important that you have yourself put together and that you have the means to do so. Of course, anyone can really make an Animal Jam video as long as you have the ability to screen record. However, just screen recording yourself in-game with no extra music, no extra effects or editing is not going to make a video that a lot of people are going to click on. What I would suggest, especially nowadays in the era of short attention spans and Gen Alpha and TikTok and YouTube Shorts, is that if you're doing literally anything apart from 30-second animations or edits or shorts, is voiceovers. I feel like nowadays voiceovers is very important. That being said, I would also suggest that you don't do voiceovers if you're anything under the age of 16. It's very important as a minor to be safe on the internet, and a lot of the times young children and young people can really struggle to censor themselves on the internet. And digital footprints are very real, and overall, I honestly would not suggest making content unless you're old enough, or if you're too young, make sure you have parent consent and that your parents know what you're posting. And that honestly, it's important that if you're really young, they give you some help. But if you're old enough to have yourself figured out and scheduled out, and you are doing voiceovers, it's not just that. I'd also suggest that you have a nice mixed media in your videos. Do some background music, do your voiceover, make sure that there's visual aspects to your videos, things that pop up on screen, text that people can read. I know a lot of people watch my videos for background noise or to get chores done or just kind of as podcastable episodes, but there's also some people that genuinely do watch my video visually, and for them, it's important to keep them engaged. So that's why I have my little guy in the corner and these images that pop up on screen and stuff. It helps keep people engaged. But of course, no one is watching my videos unless you click on them first, which is why thumbnail editing and making your title really pop out is also important. If you were curious, I edit my videos on CapCut, and I use IBIS X Paint to edit my thumbnails, which is also what I use to make my art. And so if I were to make a suggestion, I'd say use those, but I also know that CapCut is not really made for long-form content. So kinda just, if you already am used to something, then use the stuff you're already used to, and if not, that's what I use. Make sure that your video titles are short and sweet and grab attention. Use capital letters and buzzwords like Animal Jam and drama and stuff like that to get people's attention. And make sure that your thumbnails are bright and colorful and grab the eye, and that the stuff that you know people want to see are in the thumbnails. That's why I put my mascot face in there. That's why I make sure everything is big, bright, pops out of the background. And for what I do for my thumbnails is the background, I make sure it's still colorful, but I blur it so it doesn't stand out too much and distract attention away from the main focus of the thumbnails. And you could do that for the videos themselves too. I have gameplay in the background, but I make sure that the gameplay doesn't entirely distract from what I'm presenting on screen. I know some people, when they post their little images that go up on the screen next to their avatar, they blur the background. But because of my limited functionalities of the editing app that I use, I don't really blur it, so I just put it up on screen big enough that it covers up the gameplay, so you're not staring at the gameplay and you're looking at what I'm talking about instead. If you're posting content on YouTube Shorts or on TikTok, make sure that when you record your footage, you're taking into account the vertical aspect ratio so that stuff doesn't get cut out when you're editing. And if you're posting stuff on text-based and image-based platforms like Reddit or Instagram, make sure that the slideshow and the images and the pages that you're reading are really well put together and edited, kind of like a bunch of different thumbnails, but the information in it so it grabs attention. I don't personally make a lot of Instagram content myself, but what I did notice from following other people on Instagram is that they love to use different Animal Jam assets to make their stuff pop and to grab your attention. You can get a lot of good stuff for editing, for your thumbnails, and for your Instagram posts over on the Animal Jam archive, which I'll leave as the top link in my description for this video. And what I would say is the most vital thing to do if you plan on being an Animal Jam content creator, ask for help. I have a whole group of friends and people that I reach out to for opinions and stuff in my videos. Of course, this is my friend group and I call them Soup, but if you have friends, feel free to show them a part of your video. Ask them what they think. And maybe you're not so sure on a thumbnail. Send it to a group chat and ask them what you think you could change. Feel free to reach out to other Animal Jam content creators. Ask them what they think or what they'd change if they had the option. And for me, personally, on Discord, my DMs are always open. Go ahead and DM me on Discord or Instagram. And I'll always, as long as I'm available and not busy in that exact moment, I'll always look things over. I always read my fans' DMs, and if anyone ever needs help with content creation, I would be 100% willing to personally give you guys a hand. Because I love the Animal Jam content that people make, and I love the Animal Jam community. There has been a lot of really good Animal Jam content creators cropping up, and I would love to endorse and encourage the creativity of this community as much as I can. So honestly, if any of my tips helped, let me know. And always feel free to send me links to your channels and stuff. I won't promise that I'll subscribe, but I'm sure I'll look them over, and I love you all so much. I'm really happy to be able to foster and create this community for everyone, and I love hearing what you guys have to say or running into you in game, and I wish the best for y'all. That being said, let me know if you enjoyed the video, let me know if any of my tips helped or if you're going to be trying things out for yourself. If you're an Animal Jam content creator and you're watching this video right now, let me know what your experience in being a creator is. I know that a lot of people have had it easier making content than me. I know that a lot of people have had it a lot harder making content than me. A lot of people have had really bad experiences being a content creator. But regardless, just let me know what y'all think, and I'll see y'all around.